Happy, I don't even remember what day it is. Unbelievable. But either way, welcome to the CFM Elite Lifestyle Business page. And thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about online business, well, building an online business and personal relationships. So if you're joining me as a return viewer, welcome. And also if you're new to here as well, welcome. You're all welcome here. The main topics I talk about are lifestyle business matters, which interlink with mindset. And then I also talk about marketing matters, including digital and social media marketing to help you with your online business, whether you're an existing business owner or a startup business as well. So as you're connecting with me, do also let me know that you're there by saying, hey, I'm here, and let me know where you're checking in from. So I thought this particular topic would be quite important today to talk about, especially as business itself, we can't go in it on ourselves. There's always going to be some sort of interpersonal relationship, whether that be personal or professional. So the personal aspects, well, I'm focusing on the personal aspects. And the personal aspects I'll be talking about is the relationship with self and then the relationship with the other. So especially if you are in a relationship or considering going into a relationship, this is one area that you may not even have thought about on how it could potentially positively or negatively impact your relationship. Okay, so I'm just going to get myself set up here. Okay, I had a notification from YouTube on, I think it's to do with the chat window. So as I set myself up, just let me know whether you have subscribed as well so that you can receive reminders. I'm going to be sharing some tips, and those tips are basically recommendations to help you with progressing further. And they're also based on my personal experience, or some aspects of it. And I haven't really talked about in a while about my previous experience. So really quickly, I came from like a leadership and management experience, and I also helped small business owners with turning their businesses around. And I also helped with like coaching and mentoring teams that I was leading and teams that I was managing. So I feel like I have been in the business world for quite a long time, stemming over a 10-year period. And then in 2016, and prior to that as well, I was learning about how to launch my own business. Then in 2016, ironically, maybe I needed to be pushed to just go for it. I became ill with a chronic pain condition known as fibromyalgia, which then escalated me to think about how do I then go forward and just pursue my online business world, because I knew that with my condition, I wouldn't realistically be able to maintain a normal type of like work lifestyle. So this is just to give you a brief background if you're curious about what my background is and who I am as an individual. And there are also other videos that you can also refer to, which might be of help. So just in terms of relationships. So the first one is about thinking on a level of when you're in a relationship or you're about to go into a relationship, what is quite beneficial, and I've been quite fortunate aside from one from one incident of being in a relationship, is to have a supportive partner. It does help 100%. And then there's also this thing about having a distinction. So I'll ask you as well. There's something about having a distinction between having a discussion and seeking permission. Okay, so having a discussion is more about, this is what my life vision is about, and I am planning to set up my online business, and these are my ideas. Now, the seeking permission is a whole nother aspect, another umbrella. This is where you might go for like external validation. You might start speaking to your partner, and then your partner might say, no, I don't think it's a great idea, you shouldn't do it, then you don't go forward and you stop your idea. So there's differences between that. And it's great to actually be aware of how you present yourself, what your personality is like before venturing off into starting an online business. Will you be stopped by other people's views, including being in a relationship? Will you be waiting for years until your partner says, yes, you can go for it and start your online business? Or will you be somebody who is more determined to succeed regardless of other people's opinions? Okay. So why it's important to be in a relationship that's supportive is that with an online business, you're going to be investing the majority of your time in establishing it. So it's good to have those discussions with your partner, whether it be in marriage or in just a personal relationship, because it's most likely you can become like obsessed about having an online business. And I can be quite honest here and raise my hand up that I obsessively work with my online business because it's something that I am passionate about. And I've been in relationships which have complemented that. And when I was working, there was only one person who was like my boyfriend at the time who thought that I was like competing with them when I was progressing up the career ladder, which wasn't even my case. My case is always about how can I challenge myself to become the ultimate best in whatever I am doing. Okay, so being aware of that is that also if like your boyfriend or whoever it may be you're in a relationship with or girlfriend, if they're saying certain things which are negative, is it something about their own stuff rather than something to do with you as well? Okay, being aware of that helps. Nobody, this is my own belief, you can have other beliefs, nobody should deter you from your life vision. It is okay to have discussions. And I waver on the thing about asking for permission. There's something about having discussions about the time that you're going to set to dedicate, but asking somebody if it's okay to live my life vision, I actually wouldn't ask for permission. I would just be open about what my life vision is and what I'm going to be pursuing, and also be open about the time I'm going to be dedicating. And obviously, there's also compromises to that, to also spend time with that significant other person, and also for the significant other person to understand that a business is going to be time consuming. Are they open and are they willing to also be understanding in terms of the time that you need to take out and to take it seriously enough to know that it might not work immediately? Because I have heard people that I've coached in the past saying that, or the other half is actually been waiting for them to achieve something and keeps asking them about when are they going to achieve it. It's not working. They should go back into full-time employment. So if somebody is pushing you and asking you those type of questions as well, are they actually very, very understanding? Are they supportive of how you need to progress forward with your life vision? Okay, so these are some of the things that I just thought I'd highlight that they will potentially come up. It is also understanding your own mechanism as an individual, what you want out of a relationship. And I always go for the supportive angle, regardless of whatever relationship it is, because two people are meant to support each other in becoming the best versions of themselves. And it is never a competition about who's winning in whatever aspect of the life that you may be pursuing yourself as well. So I hope this is making sense. If you've had like any challenges in this topic that I've discussed, feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know what your experience has been, and also the outlook that you have in life as well, how you approach pursuing your life vision, your life goals, and what you expect from the other half. So this has been about how the other half may respond and the significant time that you will need to take out, which is a reality about starting an online business. And it's most likely to be more time than in your working 9-to-5 job. Yeah, it can become something that's a 24/7 thing. So will the other person also understand that initially this is what you will have to do, that there will have to be like some sacrifices as well, something to consider. Then I'm going to move on to relationship with the self. So the I and where you stand with that as well. And the main failure of online business startups, especially the reasons for it, is not necessarily because starting an online business is a challenge. The number one competitor and the number one challenger that you will have in your personal life is going to be you. Okay, and I'll also attest to that, that me, I'm, I'm my own challenger. So even before I got onto this live session, I knew there were certain activities that I was doing before I even got to this stage. So being aware of the things that you're doing on a constant basis, as long as you've got the awareness, and then you can actually go back into the straight line where you need to be, then you're in good state, because it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to stop yourself from actually doing something. So when I catch myself doing things like, oh, I'm cleaning, opening letters, or I'm doing something else, other tasks, I ask myself questions like, how important is this, what I'm doing right now? Is it an emergency? Is it paying off towards the goals that I need to be achieving? Am I distracting myself? Am I avoiding certain things prior to focusing on what I need to do? So your mind is always going to be the biggest tester, because your mind will put things back. You know that you should be challenging yourself with to achieve. So mindset wise, it's about knowing your personalities. What are your key strengths? And also, what are the things that you need to be working towards in place of like strengthening them? So the things that you fear, how can you test yourself, challenge yourself to start overcoming those type of challenges? So the awareness is the most helpful thing. Once you have the awareness, you have the highest potential to be able to turn that around. So now voluntarily, you can choose to ignore it. So if you're aware that you're ignoring it on purpose, then it might not be the time for you to actually move forward to pursue what you want to pursue, because it will become a constant challenge. It has to be, you are in this position to be able to challenge yourself, to awaken to the things that put you off, and to overcome those barriers on a constant basis. Okay, so that's what will enable you to succeed and to progressively be going on for years to come, because the mindset things, yes, 100%, sometimes you're going to be on the go and go, but there's going to be other times where you actually need to see all yourself and say, no, you need to get back on this and start doing certain things. Okay, so the things you might come up with: not feeling up to it, fear of the unknown, feeling like you need to do everything all at once, and the what ifs, things that haven't really occurred. So fear of the unknown, that's very, very typical. And also things, the what ifs that haven't come up. So my biggest tip here is focus on what you can do today, not the unknown. Focus on what you already know and what your key strengths are. When you start to focus on those type of things, the likelihood is that you will start to see more doors open. So what I mean by this is that your mindset automatically attracts what you already know and builds on top of that. Because when you start working on what you already know and what you can do within that given moment, you will start to open certain doors to awareness and gain new information. Okay, so it's better to just focus on that rather than, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen. It is okay to allow yourself to make, which I don't consider, but we all say it, make mistakes, fail. But I believe that that is the testing point. It's also lessons learned. The more lessons you learn, the more strength you gain in being able to withstand any challenges. So the mindset of a millionaire is the mindset of an entrepreneur, is the mindset of solution focus. Okay, so it's being able to accept that tomorrow is unknown, and whatever challenges may come towards your way, you'll be able to solve them regardless of what comes your way. You'll be able to attack it and then 10x it. Okay, so I hope this is all making sense. Let me know if you've had personal challenges in terms of mindset wise, what those challenges have been that have tested you and continue to test you, or even share some of the experiences that you've had where you feel like you've got to grips with it and you are overcoming the mindset challenges and you've got this. It'll be helpful for other people to know as well. So the tips that I'm going to leave you with, and some of them I've already highlighted, are, let me just scroll up. Okay, so the tips is take everything that you do one step at a time. Have a strategy in place, a framework to work on. So that will help you to guide you in the direction that you need to go. So rather than just thinking thoughts about what you could potentially do or you could potentially achieve and the grander ideas, have it written down on paper, including the things that you already know and what you can realistically do today. Look for opportunities, research on them, and look for the solutions that have already been offered, have already been done, rather than making it a hard startup for yourself. So if you don't feel confident, for instance, in starting your own business and creating products right away, look for alternatives such as already accessing resources that are already there, by projects that are already made that you can promote. This will give you the start up to then learn a lot more about what it takes to start an online business. Then on the side, then you can start creating your own personal products based on the knowledge that you've gained about what it takes to start an online business. These are tips of a mindset of a millionaire. Accept that tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is unknown. That is okay. That any challenges that come your way, it will be you will find solutions to them as well. Don't jump at every single opportunity that comes your way. This is one of the errors that people make, the excitement. You might go to an event, you might see something that's offering you the works and offering you like the millionaire lifestyle. Be more in connection with your gut intuition, with your instinct. Be more aware about the things that you are great at, your strengths, your key strengths, and then always review whether this is something that is going to add on to your key strengths, if it's going to align with your core values, and are you going to feel confident in being out there, being front facing, whether it be online or offline, to also promote that specific product. And if you're answering no, you're not confident in that at all, and you're hiding behind the scenes, then it's most likely something that doesn't align with your core values. Okay, so when I also mentioned about not jumping to every single opportunity, is I've heard things like, I got ripped off, this wasn't a great business idea. When you invest in something, it is best to accept responsibility from the beginning, knowing that you are the one who's ultimately making the decision to invest in something. You are the one who is imparting with your money, and you're making that decision, nobody else. It is also your responsibility to do what's called due diligence, meaning you do the research, the background work, and if something doesn't work out, accept that it wasn't the right opportunity. Take away the lessons that you have learned from it. And I always encourage that if you invest like in a product, learn from it, take away the education from it, rather than looking for the pound signs, like the bigger promise of like, or the pound, the dollar signs, whichever currency you may use. Focus on the learning, the education. That is what will help you withstand anything that comes, rather than the promise of the instant gains. Research, read, listen, and watch. Okay, are my key tips as well. So researching is always being in the know about your niche market when you're starting out and what your clients or your key customers are looking for. Reading is always improving your education, your aptitude level, your skills, as a specialist, even if you don't have the skills in the beginning, I believe we're all equipped with certain talents that we can strengthen over time. Listen is being able to listen to what's going on out there, and also listening to podcasts as well as educational information on a constant basis, so that you are somebody who's well-rounded and well-informed about your business, and also just ideas. It's good to bounce off ideas with people who are like already masterminds and people who are within that niche market, that community as well. Focus on tasks that will pay off rather than tasks that are distracting your attention, that are taking away things that you could be achieving. So when you focus on, you always ask yourself, is this going to be an income producing activity? And if it's not going to be an income producing activity, then it's to awaken to that, and then go back to the drawing board and highlight the tasks that will bring you the results. So an example for me would be, the first thing I always look about is lead generation. Like this week, I have, like, my minimum is 20 contacts to connect with, and then above that as well. So I have a measure of something to work towards. Always have something that is a tangible goal, that you know that you can look back in time and then look at how far you've got to as well. So then I'll leave you with the last one, books that I can recommend. You might have already heard of them, but The Mindset of a Millionaire by T.K. Ecker. I always want to say Hever for some reason. T.K. Hever, and then Simon Sinek, Start With Your Why. You can either get the audio option or the book itself. If you're connected to me on Facebook, my Facebook business page, which is Chiko Matenda 2, you'll find the link below the description as well. You will find that on my Facebook page, because I've got like questions from people before, and other people I've connected with communities asking what are the best books to read. I have added in my shop window, shop button on my Facebook business page, recommendations of books which can help you as an existing business owner or as a startup. So I believe the one with Simon Sinek is already there. I prefer audio because that accelerates my learning very quickly, but you might be somebody who likes to read through information and then cross off things. That's for you to decide. So I hope the tips that I've given you have helped you. And as always, I've got a marketplace. I've got links below my description where you can have a look about training, events, online business startup opportunities, such as online business training that you can get your hands on. I created a marketplace so that it's accessible based on things that I've learned myself as well, or where I've made an assessment of the products and believe that they might be worthwhile in helping. And as per usual, do your own due diligence. I've said that. I always get tongue-tied. In terms of the products and services that you choose, whether it be from me or from other people, so that you know that you are aligning your life vision, your core values, and what you believe yourself to work, or something that will support you. So I'm always here to provide education, information, and educational support. And if you feel like, oh, there's extra things that you need to learn, or you've got specific questions, do feel free to also reach out to me on my Facebook business page or on my Instagram page, which is Chiko CFM, and the links will be below. So thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to you connecting with me on the next live session. Don't be shy. Always leave a comment, say hey, and I'll gladly communicate with you. Bye for me for now.